Hi everyone, I hope you're having another lovely week. We are back together again. The weeks pass very, very quickly. So, we are going to be focusing on a little bit of strength today in our backs and in our cores. We will also feel a little bit in the front of our thighs as well, our quads. But please don't worry, it's not going to be anything too vigorous. But we're just going to start to ignite some of those muscles that we'll feel in certain yoga postures. No props will be needed, but if, like last week, you would like a blanket to either place underneath your knees, or today it might be underneath your tummy, chest, and head, please do get one. And like always, if you need to have a break, pop me on pause and you can come back to me when you're ready. So we're going to come on to our bellies this week to start. So just coming down to the floor and just taking a moment to settle in there. Maybe placing one hand over the other as you then rest the forehead upon the hand. Just maybe wiggle out those hips for a moment. Untucking those toes if they're tucked, just allowing those legs to come out nice and long. And just start to settle in here. Just becoming aware of the breath, not changing anything, but just noticing whether it's nice and fluid or a little restricted. Maybe as you're here, just scanning through that body, noticing any areas that you've got niggles today, or whether your body feels nice and open, ready to go. We're going to change the breath up just slightly. So this time, as we breathe in, we're going to fill that belly, like it's trying to really push down into the floor. So you can feel that resistance as you do this. And then as you breathe in, you'll feel the back body really begin to open up. And as you breathe out, let everything go. Do that for a few more rounds. Big breath in to fill up the belly. Breathing out. Just go for a few more rounds at your own pace, noticing how it feels when the belly begins to expand. Whether you feel that nice big stretch through the back. Noticing whether the body will gently relax as you breathe. Take one more breath. We're going to stay down on our bellies, but just allow the left ear to come to the hands for a moment. And you're going to bend into that right leg as you draw it out and up towards the right arm. Just stretching into that lower part of the body and the lower part of the spine. Just taking it nice and easy to start. Just keep that breath nice and gentle. No pressure, no force. Take it one. Slowly lower that right leg down to the left, giving those hips a little wiggle. We're going to place the right ear on the hand as we now bend into that left leg. Slowly lower that left leg down to meet the right, wiggling the hips once more. Forehead just rests upon the hand. Then as you take your next big breath in, we're just going to lift the head and chest as we now bring the elbows underneath the shoulders and the forearms and palms stay on the ground. We're going to spread through all 10 fingers. We're going to set ourselves up for our Sphinx pose. So as we breathe in, it's almost like we're trying to pull those elbows back without them really moving. This way we're just lifting that little bit higher and prouder through the chest. As you breathe out, you might like to drop the chin towards the chest as you maybe take some little head rolls, just moving in one direction and the other, just releasing out through the back of the neck, maybe noticing if we are holding some tension in the neck today. When you come back to center, just pause with the chin towards the chest, pretending like we've got a pencil on the end of our chin. As we breathe in, we're going to draw a beautiful line up towards the ceiling as we then gaze upwards. And as we breathe out, drawing on that invisible line once again as the chin comes down towards the chest. We're just isolating the head and neck here. Everything else stays exactly the same. Let's do that once more. Nice big breath in. And a big. Lowering chin and chest down to the floor as the hands come underneath the shoulders. We squeeze into those elbows as we lift the body into our table pose here. Just bringing those knees in a little closer. Just setting ourselves up for our cat and our cow. So just bringing those palms underneath the shoulders. Let's just take a few rounds of our cat and our cow as we wake up that spine a little more. Breathing in, dropping the belly, lifting that tailbone. As we breathe out, rounding all the way through the back, pushing the earth away with those palms as the chin comes up to meet the chest. Lovely. Keep going for a few more rounds like that. But today I invite you to maybe make the movements that little bit bigger. So maybe you start to make really big circles of the body as you go forwards and backwards. Maybe you draw the bottom close to your heels and roll it all the way forwards, still keeping that nice motion of the spine. But we're just really starting to exaggerate that movement as maybe we bring some stretches into the side body and the lower body, starting to feel into the arms here. So just take a few more rounds. If you'd like to keep it as your general cat and cow, please do that also. Lovely. Just take another round of breath here, taking whatever movements feel good. When you're ready, no rush. I will meet you in that flat back. This time we're going to tuck those toes under. We're going to hover the knees off the floor as we come up into our downward facing dog. And just pedal into the feet now. And of course you can stay down on the knees if you would prefer. You could just take a little movement into those legs, maybe bringing one knee forwards and then back. And just again releasing through that head. We're only going to be here for one more breath. So again, take any movements that feel good. Maybe it's that deep bend, a little twist as you feel into the backs of those legs here. Lovely. And then on your next breath in, you're going to look forward at those hands. And as you breathe out, you're just going to make your way to the top of your mat. And then when your feet meet the fingers, just hang down low in your ragdoll. So maybe holding on to opposite elbows and taking that gentle sway from side to side. Or maybe today it feels nice just to allow those arms and hands just to gently graze the floor as you continue to just loosen through the lower back. Again, allowing that head and neck to be heavy. You can stay here, or you can come with me and try a little gorilla stretch today. So for this one, we're going to place one hand underneath the foot. So you're going to peel the toes off the ground. You're going to place the hand underneath the foot, palm facing up. You're just literally going to stand on your hand here. I know it looks very peculiar. You can do this one foot at a time, or you can maybe try both. It does encourage a little bit of stability here, so your balance will be taken off slightly. But again, just allow that head and neck to be heavy. You can even wiggle those toes as you just massage the wrists and the palms. This just deepens that stretch into our shoulders now. And again, you can bend those knees as much as you need to in order to get the hands to come down to the floor. Take one more breath in here. Really allow that head to become heavy. And you can start to peel one hand away and the other. And then taking it nice and slow on your next breath in, you're going to start to roll the body all the way up. As you then take a nice big reach, those arms all the way out and above the head. As you breathe out, drawing palms down to meet the heart. Take a moment here as we've come to stand. Again, if you would prefer to stay sitting down, please do. And for these next few movements, what you can do is focus on the upper body movements that we're going to be doing, because we are going to be taking a squat next. We're going to come into like a little dragon flow, they call this one. So we're going to feel into that lower body, but if you're choosing to sit, you can just take those legs out a little bit wider, so you're still taking that stretch on the inside of the legs, and then just focus on the breaths and the movements of the upper body that we're going to be doing. So if you are standing and you are with me, just take those feet a little wider apart, and we're going to have the heels in and the toes facing out. And we're just going to bend into those knees. As you draw the knees out towards the baby toes, we don't want the knees collapsing in, we want them drawing out. And you start to bend into one knee and the other. You just feel into the lower body. So for this next part, we're going to start to awaken the muscles in the back as we hold our nice strong poses. But we're also going to feel the quads start to fire up as we remain in a squat pose here. So please be gentle at any point. If you need to come out, please rest. Please honour what your body is telling you. When you're ready, just come to centre again. Let's just take a nice big stretch of our arms. So this time, keeping the hands on the knees, you're going to drop the right shoulder to the centre as you look over your left shoulder. You're just stretching down through that right arm as you push the right hand into the right knee. You do the same on the other side. So as you breathe in, come to centre. And as you breathe out, drop that left shoulder as you now look over the right. Gently make your way through to centre. Lovely. Maybe straighten the legs for a moment. Just give them a little wiggle. And then we're going to come into our little movements now. Just take a nice big breath in as you draw the hands together at the front of the heart. And as you breathe out, once again, take that bend into the knees. So what we're going to do here, we want to take that squat. We want to keep our back nice and straight. So we don't want to sink the bottom backwards like this. We want to keep it nice and upright as we're doing this. So I'll turn to face you once again. And then we're going to interlace those fingers. We're going to send the palms down towards the floor. As we breathe in, stretch those arms all the way out and above the head. And keeping those hands interlaced, we're going to take a nice big side bend to the left. So just the upper body moves. And as you breathe in, come back to centre. And as you breathe out, just start to stretch over to that right side. You might be feeling it in the legs now. Let's go for one more round. Big breath in. Breathing out over to the left. Big breath into centre. And as we breathe out over to the right. Lovely. Breathing in. And as you breathe out, straighten those legs. Give everything a little bit of a wiggle. Well done. Amazing. Going to try once more. But this time we're going to change that upper body movement. So remember, if you're sitting down, you can still join with that nice big side body stretch that we are doing here. So let's take that squat again for me. Bringing the hands together at the heart, interlacing the fingers. And as you breathe in, sending the palms down. And as you breathe out, raising the hands up and above the head. Now this time, again, keeping that lower body nice and strong here, tucking in that tailbone to the length is there in the spine. As we breathe out, let's just twist that upper body to the left. So we may not go very far at all. We're just waking up that back a little more, breathing into center. And as we breathe out, twist to the right. Lovely. Once more, each side, breathing in. Breathing out, twist to the left. Breathing into the center. And as we breathe out, twist to the right. Big breath into center. Oh, and as you breathe out, lovely. Stretch out those legs. Very nice. Keep the legs out nice and wide. Big breath in as we take the arms all the way out and above the head. And as we breathe out, we're going to fold over those legs now. So this time, turning the feet so they're now parallel with your mat or just with the corners here. And just allow that head to become nice and heavy. And maybe like we did in our standing forward fold with our legs a little closer, we're going to take that little sway from side to side. So now we've started to wake up those muscles. It may feel nice just release through that lower back now. So take a little sway from side to side. It might feel nice to bend into one knee and the other, as again we exaggerate that movement. Lovely. Just flowing from one side to the other, maybe closing the eyes and letting the body guide you where it wants to go, whether it wants to pause. And when you're ready, find your way to center. And you're going to place your left hand underneath the head. And as we breathe in, we're going to reach that right arm up towards the sky. Just taking a little twist here. So as I mentioned, we are really going to be working into the back today and our core. But we're also going to find moments of ease there also. Lovely, bringing that right hand down. And as we breathe in, reaching that left arm up towards the sky. Breathe. Once more, big breath in. Drawing that left hand down. Lovely. As we breathe in, we're going to do that halfway lift, coming up just onto those fingertips as you lift the chest forward. And then as you breathe out, you're going to fold. I'm just going to turn so you can see. And you're going to step one leg back, then the other, bringing those feet a little closer, finding that downward dog for just a moment. And then bringing those knees down to the floor and taking a child's pose here. Lovely. Well done, everybody. Great job. Taking a nice full breath in through the nose. Open the mouth, let it go. And as we breathe in, just starting to come up onto those knees. Well done. Take a nice big shoulder roll backwards. I promise your body will love you for this afterwards. So I'm going to turn to the front once again, just so that you can see. So we're going to stay in our table pose, just like we've done before. But this time, can you stretch your left leg out to the side? So like we did last week, but this pose is going to be slightly different. So we're going to keep that left leg out and I'm going to push down through that left baby toe. So you can really feel that foot connected to the floor. And just make sure it's not too far forwards or too far back. And as we breathe in, we're going to lift that chest nice and proud. And as we breathe out, maybe we can come down to the forearms. Or maybe, keeping that left leg out nice and long, you can bend into that right leg and your bottom comes all the way down to the heel. So I'll show you from the side also. So we've got that left leg out, we're maybe coming down to the forearms, or we're maybe bringing bottom down to the heels. And keep pushing down through that left baby toe. Just stretching the inside of those legs after those squats that we just did. To take one more breath here. you breathe in, just gently make your way back up onto those hands if you're not already. And as you breathe out, draw that left leg in to meet the right. Let's do that on the opposite side. So this time stretching that right leg out to the side. And again, pushing down through those right baby toes now. Lovely. Big breath in as you lift the chest up nice and proud. As you breathe out, maybe coming down to the forearms as the bottom stays lifted, or maybe allowing the bottom to come all the way down to the floor as you keep that right leg out nice and long. Take one more breath. As you breathe in, coming back up onto those hands. And as you breathe out, draw that left leg to meet, that right leg to meet the left. Just sit back on your heels for a moment, making sure the toes aren't tucked. Just take a few shoulder rolls. Be placing the hand on the shoulders as you start to make nice big circles using the elbows. Get to the top, just reverse the direction. Just start to move in the opposite way. Good. One more. Down. Big breath in as we sweep the arms out to the book. As we breathe out, draw the hands down to the heart. Twice more, just like that. Big breath in. Big breath out. Last one, big breath in. We're going to come up high onto the knees now. So this one, we're going to be testing not only the strength in our back and lower part of our body, but also the trust that we have with our bodies. So we're going to come into some little sways now. So for this one, just draw the hands together at the heart. And I want you just to tuck the tailbone in so we keep the front body almost like it's like a nice long straight board. Okay. So drawing those hands at your heart. Big breath in as you lift up nice and tall through the top of your head. So like someone's got a golden thread going all the way through the spine and just pulling slightly at the top of the head to just lengthen you out that little bit. And as we breathe out, we're going to just start to sway that body backwards. Lovely. Big breath in as we come through to center. Breathing out as you sway backwards. Lovely. So what we don't want to do is the ribs to flare open, so we're pushing like this and we're rounding and arching through that back. Maybe the bottom comes down to the heels. Of course, if you need to rest those legs, you can practice doing it where you just allow that upper body to move as you just sway just up. You're still going to really work those muscles in that lower back. So please come down to the knees if that feels comfortable. If not, we will continue for a few more rounds like this, and I invite you to maybe try a couple with your eyes closed. Just feels that little bit different. Trust and honor that beautiful body that you have. So as we breathe in, we always come back to center. As we breathe out, we start to rock that balance. Lovely big breath in to come to center. Lovely. Go with your own breath. Just go for a few more rounds, knowing that the inhale will always bring you back to center, and the exhale will allow you just to come and float that body backwards as you ignite the muscles in the legs and that back. Beautiful. Take 2 more sways, just like this. And when you're ready, I'll meet you back at the center. Bring those bottoms down towards the heels, allowing the arms to come down by your sides as you allow the upper body to fold over the legs. Finding your child's pose as you just release through that lower spine. We're really starting to use those muscles now but to strengthen that whole core center. As we breathe in, really feel that expansion of the back and the ribs. As you breathe out, feel the softness and the heaviness in the body. Doing that one more time. Your next inhale, just start to peel the head and chest away from the floor as you make your way back up onto those knees. So we're going to keep that same sway that we were doing before, but we're now going to bring that twisting that we've done when we were on our wide-legged forward fold to where our arm was up. This time we're going to open out to the side as we take that rock backwards. So as we breathe in, bring those hands to heart, tucking that tailbone in slightly as we lengthen through that spine and send the arms up towards the sky here. So allowing those those shoulders just to fall away from us. And this time, as you breathe out, as you take that sway backwards, you're then going to open the body out towards the right side. So right arm comes backwards, left arm comes forward. Maybe you look back at those right arms. As you breathe in, you lift the body. And as you breathe out, you take it over to the left side. Lovely big breath in. So you may notice that the sways backwards are a little less, but you're working different muscles now. And again, I invite you to try this way with your eyes closed. Just see what it's like. Trust that the body has you here. Trust in the strength that you already have. Your bodies are incredible. And for a few more rounds here. Taking it as slow as feels. The beauty of having the eyes closed is that we don't compare ourselves to anyone that we may be doing this video with or worrying what our bodies might look like. We go with that feeling of our body. So the body will give that little nudge as like, yes, this is far enough. Go for one more on each side. When make your way back to center, just drawing those hands down to the heart, bottom towards the heels. And again, take that child's pose. And just rest the body here. Taking a nice full, big breath in through the nose. Open the mouth, sigh it out. Doing that once more, breathing in. Sighing it out. On your next breath in, just start to peel the head and chest away from the floor, stretching those arms out nice and long in front of you and making your way down to your bellies once again. So going to take that Sphinx pose once more that we started with. So untucking those toes, drawing elbows underneath the shoulders, forearms on the floor, and fingers are spread. Nice big breath in as we start to draw the elbows back to lift that chest that little bit higher. And as we breathe out, just drop the chin towards the chest as you just ease through that neck. Let's do one of those lifts. So remembering that we've got that pencil on the end of our chin. Big breath in as we draw that invisible line up towards the ceiling. And as we breathe out, drawing it all the way back down. Lovely, bringing chin just to center, allowing the left arm to come in, the left elbow to come out, the right arm to come on top of the left, and just allow the forehead to come and rest on the hands as the elbows come out to the side. Just wiggle those hips for a moment here. Going to try really big strengthener in that lower spine, and you can take it as deep as you like. So this one, we keep the lower body nice and long and the legs connected to the floor. But we're going to lift the upper body so our head, chest and elbows come away from the floor as we breathe in. So I'm going to show you here. So as we breathe in, we lift the head, chest and elbows. And as we breathe out, we take that little twist to the right. So you see all the movements that we've done so far are all coming together. Big breath in as we come back to center. And as we breathe out, we lower all down. Let's try it on the other side. So big breath in. So we lift head and chest. Breathing out as we twist to the left. Big breath in, coming back through to center. And breathing out, lower that body. We're only going to go for 2 more rounds because this is a really big one for the body. So breathing into lift. Breathing out to twist to the right. Breathing into center. Breathing out to that. Big breath into lift. Breathing out, twist to the left. Breathing into center. And breathe out. One more, going with your breath. When you come back through to center, let the forehead rest upon the hands as that chest melts down to the floor. Bend into the legs and just take a little windscreen wipe of those legs from side to side. Just releasing through that lower back. You guys are incredible. Well done. We're really starting to build some strength into that body. Take a few more movements from side to side. And when you're ready, let those legs come out nice and long and just give those hips a little wiggle. We're going to stay down on our bellies for this next part. And this one, we're going to bring almost like a bigger sway to the body. So you might want to watch me for the first one as I guide you through it. And what this one is, we're going to really start to strengthen, but also lengthen and stretch through that back body. So what we're going to do is, we're going to rest our right ear on our hands. We're going to do the opposite leg. So as we breathe in, we pick that left leg up off the floor. And as we breathe out, we start to sway just that lower body as the left leg comes over to the right. And we start to stack those hips one on top of the other. So the leg won't touch the floor, or maybe it will. Might have nice open hips and legs, or nice long legs. But you want to really focus on keeping both elbows and the head down on the back. We're going to hold this. Breathe deep breaths. Breathe. Two more as you breathe. Last breath as you breathe. Start to draw that leg slow back down towards the floor as the forehead comes on the hands and just going to try that on the other side. So this time our left ear comes onto the hands. And as we breathe in, we hover the right leg off the floor. And as we breathe out, we start to sway that right leg over to the left side. So the hips will start to stack, but the elbows and the head remain down. Again, we're going to take those nice deep breaths here. So it might feel nice to close the eyes. You may feel different sensations when we close off one of our senses. Just feel into the body. Take it to nice and slow. You start to draw that right back down towards the body. As the forehead meets the hands. Lovely. I'm going to repeat that one more time. But this time we can change it slightly to deepen that stretch. All depends on what you'd like to do. So please, by all means, if it felt good the first time, please keep it there. If you'd like to come with me, what we're going to do is now, this time you're going to open those arms out to a nice big T shape. You're going to let that right ear come down to the floor, just like it did before. And as we breathe in, we lift that left leg away from the floor. And as we breathe out, we take that same movement as we start to stack the hips and that left leg comes behind the right leg. But this time you're going to bend into that left leg. You're almost creating like a scorpion's tail here. And the right hand can maybe catch a hold of those left toes. Keeping and pressing that left palm down into the floor and keeping the right ear down to the ground. Just take a moment to feel into this shape that we have created as we are stretching and strengthening the back, but now also stretching into the quads, the front part of our thighs, opening tummy muscles. Taking one more breath here. And if you had a hold of that left foot, just release the foot as you stretch the right arm back up. And then that left leg starts to come down to meet the right, bringing forehead and chin down to the ground. This is where that blanket might be quite nice to have underneath the face. Just wiggle those hips. We'll do that on the opposite side. So now just bringing that left ear down to the floor. As we breathe in, hovering right leg. And as we breathe out, just bringing that right leg behind the left, this time bending into that knee. And maybe now those left fingers can take a hold of those right toes as you keep pressing firmly into that right palm. And maybe close the eyes up. Just feel into this stretch. Releasing the hold of those right toes and them. Slowly allowing that right leg to come down to the floor. As you bring the forehead down, this time bringing hands one on top of the other, just wiggle out. Bringing hands underneath the shoulders, lifting head and chest, and this time drawing the bottom back towards the heel as you take that child's pose once more. Maybe keeping the arms out nice and long, or maybe wrapping them around the body. Just releasing through that back. Taking things nice and slow. On your next inhale, just starting to lift the upper body away. We're going to turn to the front just so that you can see. So you're going to sweep the feet over to the right side as the bottom comes into the floor. It's almost like you're creating like that mermaid's tail here. And with your feet sweep to the right, your right hand will take a hold of your left knee. Your left fingers just come gently down by your left side. We're not doing a full big twist. We want to start to ease out through. We're just going to stretch into the neck. Sometimes we can hold some tension there when we are doing some of these postures. Just allow that right ear to the right shoulder. Just start to stretch through one side of the neck. Again, maybe close off the eyes. Gently breathe through that head center. Gently allowing the left ear to fall towards the left shoulder. Start to stretch the opposite side. Shoulders to mount away. Stretch. Back to center. As you exhale, just gently drop your chin towards the chest. Just release. Back to center. We're just going to gently sweep the legs over to the left side. Just taking over to the left. And this time the left hand's going to go onto the right knee. Right finger's just going to just gently come down by your side. Going to drop the left ear first this time. As we relax those shoulders. Back to center. Gently as you breathe out, dropping the right ear to the shoulder. Back to the center. Dropping that chin towards the chest. Really slowing things down. Guys have worked so hard. Just releasing that posture. Sweeping those legs out in front of you. Keep the knees bent. Holding on to the knees. As we breathe in, sending the chest up high. Finding that length of the spine. As we breathe out, taking that deep round through the back. As we bring those legs with us as we make our way down towards the mat. Hugging knees in towards the body and taking a little rock from side to side. Feet down towards the floor. Opening the arms out nice and let's take a little twist of the spine. It's a gentle one. Just drop those legs over to the right side. Just ease out through that lower spine. Using those tummy muscles to bring those legs back to center. Slowly dropping both knees over to the left. Just feel that nice openness in the right side, expansion of the ribs, heaviness as you bring it back to center as you inhale. Last little hug of those legs in, maybe peeling head and neck off. Oh. As you breathe out, keeping the knees bent to start with. Just allow the feet to come to the floor and the knees to fall in towards one another. Before we come to stretch out in our Shavasana, let's just take a moment here and just rest the hands upon the belly. Just start to maybe close off the eyes. Bring that awareness back to the belly. So this time the belly has the freedom to take up as much room as it likes, as it breathes in. Gently soften, feeling that back body protected and held by the earth. Choose to stay. Maybe you choose to come into that Shavasana. Stretch out one leg and allowing the feet to just gently fall out to the sides. Maybe the arms come down by your sides now as those palms shine up to the ceiling. Just relaxing your shoulders. So take a nice big cleansing breath in, nice big breath in. Open them up, let it go. Just allow everything to settle. The legs, chest, entire back, raise like to protect you, relax. So maybe the eyes closed, lips parted as the jaw. So deep breaths, so gentle into the body, gentle rock from side to side. Taking a nice full body stretch as you reach those arms up and above the head. Really enjoy the broad figure. Left Those knees as you give yourself to smooth. Just gently folding over to one side, pausing there. Already making your way all the way back up to that comfortable seat. You roll your shoulders back to your chest. A nice full breath in as we push those arms out to the drawing those hands down to the heart. Doing that twice more to close our practice. Big breath. Last one as you breathe. You press the thumbs against your heart space. Maybe bring a little smile to your face. You take this moment to find gratitude in your incredible bodies. Thank you so much, everybody. I'm looking forward to seeing you again next week, and I will see you soon. Enjoy the rest of your week. Take care. Bye.